Hello history lover. Welcome to our channel. Today, I'm going to talk about short story of Egypt. Let's start the video.
BCE 3100 the Egyptians develop hieroglyphic writing. 2950 Upper and Lower Egypt are united by Menes, the first pharaoh of Egypt. 2700 papyrus is developed as a writing surface. 2600 the first pyramid is built by the pharaoh Djoser. Imhotep, the famous advisor, is the architect.
2500 the Sfenks and the Great Pyramids of Giza are constructed. 1600 the chariot is introduced. 1520 Mhosai reunites Egypt, and the New Kingdom period begins. 1500 the pharaohs begin to be buried at the Valley of the Kings. 1479 Hatshepsut becomes pharaoh.
1386 Amenhotep III becomes pharaoh. Ancient Egypt reaches its peak and the Temple of Luxor is constructed. 1279 Ramses II becomes pharaoh. He will rule for 67 years. 670 the Assyrians invade and conquer Egypt. 525 the Persian Empire conquers and rules Egypt.
332 Alexander the Great conquers Egypt. He establishes the city of Alexandria. King Tut's mummy. 305 Ptolemy, a general under Alexander the Great, becomes pharaoh. 30 Cleopatra VII commits suicide. She is the last pharaoh of Egypt. Egypt comes under the rule of the Roman Empire.
c. 395 Egypt becomes part of the Byzantine Empire, the Eastern Roman Empire. 641 the Arabs conquer Egypt and convert the land to Islam. 969 the capital city is moved to Cairo. 1250 the Mamluks take control of Egypt. 1517 Egypt is conquered by the Ottoman Empire.
1798 the French Empire, led by Napoleon Bonaparte, invade Egypt. However, Napoleon is soon defeated and the Ottoman Empire once again takes control. 1805 Ottoman General Muhammad Ali becomes leader in Egypt. He establishes his own dynasty. 1869 construction on the Suez Canal is completed. 1882 the British defeat Egypt at the Battle of Tel el-Kebir. The United Kingdom takes control of Egypt. 1914 Egypt becomes an official protectorate of Egypt.
1922 the United Kingdom recognizes Egypt as an independent country. Fahd I becomes king of Egypt. 1928 the Muslim Brotherhood is founded. 1948 Egypt joins a military coalition of Arab states including Jordan, Iraq, Syria, and Lebanon and attacks Israel. 1952 the Egyptian Revolution occurs. Led by Muhammad Najib and Gamal Abdel Nasser the monarchy is overthrown and the Republic of Egypt is established. 1953 Muhammad Najib becomes president.
1956 Gamal Abdel Nasser becomes president. He will rule until 1970. 1956 the Suez Crisis occurs when Nasser nationalizes the Suez Canal. Forces from Britain, France, and Israel invade. 1967 Israel launches an attack against Egypt called the Six-Day War. Israel takes control of the Gaza Strip and the Sinai Peninsula. 1970 Nasser dies. Anwar al-Sadat takes his place as president. 1970 the construction is completed on the Aswan Hideout.
1971 Egypt signs a treaty of friendship with the USSR. A new constitution is adopted naming the country the Arab Republic of Egypt. 1973 the Yom Kippur War occurs when Egypt and Syria attack Israel on the Jewish holiday of Yom Kippur. 1975 the Suez Canal is opened again after being closed since Six-Day War. 1978 Anwar al-Sadat signs the Camp David Accords with Israel for peace. Egypt is kicked out of the Arab League. 1981 Anwar al-Sadat is assassinated. Hosni Mubarak becomes president.
1989 Egypt is admitted back into the Arab League. 2004 Israeli tourists are killed by terrorist bombs on the Sinai Peninsula. 2011 President Mubarak resigns and flees the country due to widespread violent protests. 2012 Mohamed Morsi, candidate of the Muslim Brotherhood, is named president. However, the election results are disputed. 2013 After more violent protests, the military removes Morsi from the presidency and places the leader of the Supreme Court, Adli Mansur, as acting president. A state of emergency is declared and the Muslim Brotherhood is banned.
One of the oldest and longest-lasting civilizations in world history was developed in ancient Egypt. Starting in about 3100 BC, Menes became the first pharaoh, uniting all of ancient Egypt under one rule. The pharaohs ruled the land for thousands of years, building great monuments, pyramids, and temples that still survive to this day. The height of ancient Egypt was in the time of the New Empire from 1500 to 1000 BC. In 525 BC, the Persian Empire invaded Egypt, taking over until the rise of Alexander the Great and the Greek Empire in 332 BC. Alexander moved the capital to Alexandria and put the Ptolemy dynasty in power. They would rule for around 300 years. Arab forces invaded Egypt in 641. Arab sultanates were in power for many years until the Ottoman Empire arrived in the 1500s. They would remain in power until its power started to wane in the 1800s. In 1805, Muhammad Ali became Pasha of the country and founded a new dynasty of rule. Ali and his heirs would rule until 1952. During this time, the Suez Canal was completed, as well as the building up of the modern city of Cairo. For some years between 1882 and 1922, the Ali dynasty was a puppet of the British Empire, while the country was part of the British Empire. In 1952, Egypt, the monarchy was overthrown and the Republic of Egypt was established. One of the main leaders, Abdel Nasser, came into power. Nasser took control of the Suez Canal and became a leader in the Arab world. When Nasser died, Anwar Sadat was elected president. Prior to Sadat becoming president, Egypt and Israel had fought several wars. In 1978, Sadat signed the Camp David Accords, which led to a peace treaty between Egypt and Israel. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe my channel and like the video.